Hi, I'm Rachel, and I'm here to do an AM reading video for Friday, February 14th, 2020. It's Valentine's Day, though neither of these books is especially romantic. I suppose this one might be a tiny bit in unexpected ways. This is NAAMAH by Sarah Blake. It made the rounds last year. I think it was semi-popular on BookTube and maybe elsewhere in the litfic world. This is a Noah's Ark retelling of sorts, or really it's just giving his wife a voice and a story. And I say that it's romantic because she does have some entanglements more with female people than with her husband, although it isn't one of those stories where Noah's portrayed as an abusive sort of patriarchal figure. They seem to have rapport. In fact, there's a lot in this novel that's, the dialogue especially, that's very modern, I think on purpose. It's a very minimalist novel. It takes place primarily on the Ark, where everyone is sort of desperately waiting for the waters to recede, with some flashbacks to the past when they're prepping and living life. I feel like, I don't know, I wonder if this is me changing as a reader because I don't like it as much as I thought I would, or, with this sort of concept. I'm kind of underwhelmed by how underdeveloped a lot of things are. How much I'm saying I have to suspend disbelief, and I mean, of course I do. It's about like a huge flood. I think they're going for the 5-month Genesis option here. It's unbelievable, obviously, but I just, in the way that it's presented so minimally, talking about how the Ark was prepared and what it's like to lose, your world. I mean, part of me likes it because every now and then you kind of get into the extremity of it, and especially from NAAMAH's perspective, because she didn't speak to God, and it's quite obvious that God doesn't care about her, and it's just proximity here, and in a way I guess it's nice for it to be a little understated and not too melodramatic. But just in terms of scene construction and everything, and even character development, it's just very minimalist and weirdly modern. And part of me likes that too, to get away from your stereotypical, this is the past, so it's horrible for women, and just horribly oppressive. But it just I don't know, it's not completely gelling for me. It feels a little too rambly. There's certainly not a whole lot of plot, I guess. There's some interesting stuff. I mean, Blake wanted to give, NAAMAH a supernatural sort of story as well that's completely bonkers. And I guess, to me, I'm like, what's the point of it, though? I mean, to a certain degree, I'm like, yeah, I guess it should be bonkers. The whole thing is bonkers. The idea of why are you doing this, God? That's never really, God doesn't really explain himself fully about, like, you guys get to live and everybody gets to die. But her sort of supernatural story is a little less intense, but still kind of bonkers. I do like the animals to an extent. I mean, I think on a sort of a lower, deeper extent, it's kind of unbelievable how all the animals are behaving. But I like that there's this tension about, the animals existing on the boat with the people, and, we have, everything from predators to prey, as it were. So there is a little bit of tension there, although it's also sort of an easy fix, though. It seems like they have some sort of supernatural power that at the right moments they can, save the day with, dangerous predators. I don't know. I'm not as far along in this book as I hoped I would be. I'm kind of blaming my weekend away last weekend at my mom's party for, slowing down my reading this week. And I'm would have liked to be closer to the end with this one right now, but I guess this gives me an excuse to bring it up next week, which I would probably like to anyway, because next week I'm picking up a second Noah's Wife retelling book, and I'm hoping to compare and contrast them in a blog post or something like that, as it were, and probably in a rambly way on this channel as well. So you'll probably see me hold this up again with more thoughts next week. But I won't be picking up the second Noah's Wife retelling book right away, because I have to get to this book. This is American Predator, The Hunt for the Most Meticulous Serial Killer of the 21st Century by Maureen Callahan. So, as it says, this is about, well, Israel Keyes. Specifically, he struck in various places in the U.S., but I don't want to get more into depth much than that, because I am reading this as a judge for the BookTube Prize. The BookTube Prize is a year-long process to try to whittle down the best in literary fiction and nonfiction. I'm on the nonfiction side for this round. The octafinal round goes until the end of March, so I'm sworn to secrecy until then, just pointing out what I'm reading, but can't really say more than that. Instead, I will leave links below to more information about the BookTube Prize if you're interested in following along that way. So that about covers it for me now. Long weekend for me coming up, a 3-day weekend with President's Day, celebrating George Washington's birthday in the U.S. Hoping to use that to my advantage vis-a-vis the reading catch-up that I was alluding to. I also have some writing goals, of course, which I hope will culminate. I'm working on my literary novella 70 billionth revision, and a big thing coming up is a rewrite of a chapter, and I noticed recently that a bunch of author tubers got together and did a 5-hour long show write-in, and I thought that could be great motivation and fun to sit down and write to the recording of that. So definitely a thing that's on my agenda for sometime this weekend. I'll link to it down below in case there's any other writers who like that sort of inspiration. Also, sometime this weekend, I believe, or at the end of the weekend, I plan to be back here to do another favorites video for ranking my top 5 books that I've read in the past 5 years. Then I might want to get off this hobby horse of, beginning of year type videos, because, we're getting well into February by now. But hey, who needs all these rules and regulations anyway? What's to keep us from filming whatever we want to film about whenever we want to film it? Not that I think I should put this off any longer. I have plenty of other things in the pipeline. On Monday, I'll be attuned to the BookTube SFF Awards to see what made the official shortlists. Pretty excited for that. So I hope you all have exciting weekends coming up as well, or productive weekends in whatever way, or fun weekends, however you choose to spend the time. Thanks so much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next time.